So Sage has informed me that he has in fact played this game and likes this game. You can't, let me see here. I gotta make sure that you guys can see it in all of its glory. There we go. So this is called Absurd Trolley Problems. For any of you who watched the episode we did, what was it, 2 episodes ago? Something like that. 8 days ago, we did a password game, which was a new Neal fun game. That was excellent. I'd like us to do a round 2 someday, Sage. I would like us to do a round 2. But this is called Absurd Trolley Problems, and I have been told that this is basically we're going to solve all of philosophy by playing this game. And if any of you have ever played the what was it, Trolley Tom game? I've played the Trolley Tom game. It's very similar, but that's a card game.
Yep, I mean it's all based off of the philosophical question or framework. And forward.
I like that this is called the original because this is the original question. A trolley is heading towards 5 people. So the circumstance, if you were not at the lever, is that 5 people are going to die, right? So if you pull yourself out of the situation, 5 people die. But because you're there, you can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, killing one person instead. So I think the biggest philosophical portion of this is that you are choosing for one person to die. That if you weren't there, that person would live. So it's based on your decision, that person is dead, right? Am I nailing the philosophy of this, Sage? Is there more that I'm not seeing?
If basically, yeah. If your decision, there's like 2 kind of competing philosophical viewpoints in whether you make the choice or don't make the choice, and then if you do make the choice, what your justification for making the choice is.
Now, what is that? Abject evil. So like the idea is if you cross your arms and you do nothing and you're not making a decision, that it's not your fault what happens, right? But if you pull the lever, you're making a decision to kill somebody. I think that's like one way of thinking about it. Obviously, there are many ways to think about it. I'm going to pull the lever and I'm going to kill the person on top. And 73% of people agree with you. 27% disagree out of, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
5 million votes.
So what would you say your methodology? What was your reason for choosing the choice that you chose?
My choice is purely based off of a value of a quantity of life over another quantity. Now, I will say if I was given more information, I may make a different decision, but based on all things being equal, not knowing who anyone is, that's the only clear decision I have.
Yes. And so that would be the utilitarianism view, is simply that one life is fewer than 5 lives. And that is your value methodology.
Right. Now if this was like, you know, these 5 people are mass murderers and racist and sexual predators, and the one person on top is a seasoned doctor and scholar, and you know what I mean, and all these other things, you know, participates in his community and a good man, I would absolutely kill the 5. But that's because I have no problem being judge, jury, and executioner based on my personal feelings about people. I don't know if that's bad or not, but oh god, I thought it just did 5 and 5. I'm like, oh come on now. A trolley is heading towards 5 people. You can pull a lever to divert it to the other track, killing 4 people instead. To me, it's the exact same thing. Same thing. Same answer. I don't know anything about any of them, and the bottom track is worth 1 human more than the top. 66% of people agree with you, 34% of people disagree. It's interesting that this number dropped off by 200,000 people. That means 200,000 people made the first decision and stopped playing. Life savings. A trolley is heading towards 5 people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, but then your life savings will be destroyed. This is a dumb one because I don't have life savings.
I was gonna say.
Like, okay, like run over this $50 bill or these 5 people. Okay.
But
Maybe
you could definitely see how if someone did have a significant amount of life savings, that would change the math for them mentally. It would at least make them. Now, actually, you know what I think would be really interesting is if this actually told you how long it took people to make a decision.
Oh, yeah. Like how long they read it and stuff.
Yeah, like how long did they read it, and then how long did they kind of go back and forth between? Because that could almost tell you more about a person's mental, ethics system than.
SK says money is material and a trolley doesn't go fast. So you can pick it all up. Yeah, that $50 bill is fine. It's just floating around. That's all. Now we had a drop off of 100,000 people. Yeah, I do wish it had like how much time did it take people to and stuff like that. It'd also be kind of neat if you could make a note about why and it like limited it to like 15, 20 characters. And then you had random pop-ups of people's words, but then you got problems with people writing absurd things and racist things and all that. People ruin everything. A trolley is heading towards 5 people. Can you pull the lever to divert it to the other track? Sacrificing... Oh, that's me with the lever. I do nothing. That's the easiest decision I could ever make. That's 5 random strangers that I don't know or me. I do nothing. Because in this situation, if I do nothing, then the train is doing... Whoever tied up all these people on the tracks, it's their fault that they died, not mine. My methodology changes completely because my self-preservation is very, very high. Maybe if I knew who they were, if I knew certain things about them, maybe I could be swayed to pull the lever and let myself die. But I am very important to me. 60% of people agree with you, 40% disagree. That's very interesting. I would have assumed it would be the other way around. Yeah, I'm tied up. Yeah, that's if anyone's like, why didn't you pull the lever? I'd be like, it looks like I could, but I try. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
I made an effort.
And then if afterwards they're like, yeah, these were philanthropists, these were very selfless people and teachers and world-class doctors and they were amazing, I would be like, well, the person who tied me up didn't tell me that information.
Or you could even be like, well, it sounds like they lived a good life then.
Yeah, they
Potato, tomato.
5 families just got massive life insurance policies. Don't worry about it. Next question. Priceless painting. A trolley is heading towards 5 people. You can pull the lever to divert the other track, but then the original copy of the Mona Lisa will be destroyed. I don't care about the Mona Lisa. I don't own it. I mean, if it's destroyed, it's not like it's mine now. Like, I saved the Mona Lisa. Now it is mine. I don't know why I trumped out there for a second, but 7. Why did I turn into Trump for a second there?
Yeah.
77% of people agreed with you. That makes sense. I changed my mind. This is the easiest one. Oh, what's this? A trolley is heading towards a rich man. The rich man offers you $500,000 to pull the lever, which would divert the trolley to kill someone else. I mean, I guess I would say to the other guy, can you beat that? I think this is implying that this person has money and this person does not have money. Oh man, this is a hard one because I feel like if I take a bribe, it might turn into a crime. Does this turn into a crime? Because now I've got, what's that called? I no longer have plausible deniability. You know what I mean? And I'm making the choice to kill someone else. However, I think if one person's gonna die either way,
Kill the rich man every time.
I'm gonna take the 500K. Wow, it's a 50-50 split? Dang. Again, I don't know anything about either of these people. Again, the guy at the top, and this is not like this is just it could be, right? So if the guy at the bottom was like a rapist or something, then I would have let it kill him because the 500K would not be worth it then. The guy on the top, if it turned out that he was a terrible person, it would just make this decision easier. So not knowing anything about either of them, 500K on the line, if this person even pays me.
You wouldn't even you wouldn't even make him sweat a little. Be like, 500,000's kind of low. That sounds like you don't really want to live.
Yeah, just switch it to the other guy and be like switching it back and switching it to him. Be like, guys, I'm gonna blindfold myself and I'm just gonna shake this lever, and whatever happens, happens. Give it up to chance so I don't have to make a decision. No, I mean, yeah, 500K, someone was going to die either way. I don't know anything about him. Sure, I'll take it. A trolley is heading towards 5 lobsters. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, running over a cat instead. I have more love and appreciation for cats than I do crustaceans. I will kill the crustaceans. And
now you have dinner.
Now I have dinner. That's 85% of people agree with you. Yeah, exactly. Like, just getting 5 lobsters that are now presumably, I don't even have to kill them now. They might be a little dirty, but that's not bad. A trolley is heading towards 5 people who are sleeping and won't feel pain. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, running over someone who is wide awake instead. What do you do? It does not matter whether they're awake or asleep. The awake and asleep doesn't do anything to me. Is that a deciding factor for people, do you think?
Well, because you're still going with the utilitarian mindset, which is just the state of the life doesn't matter, right? They could be crippled and in agony, or dying of cancer tomorrow, and that wouldn't play a role. It's just literally like, are you saving this life now, and how many of those lives is it? And just, if one is more than the other, then the more is the correct answer.
If I knew that all 5 of these people were dying of cancer tomorrow and the person on top was going to live a long, healthy life, I would run over the 5.
Then it's not utilitarian as your base, but that's the base idea behind it. So if you're more like the state of them and if their ability to feel pain factors, it's like, what's better? One person dying in pain, or 5 people dying but not being in pain. So like that, they just won't wake up, right? It's the how much does the state of consciousness play into your value algorithm?
I think it's interesting that would sway people. Like, I don't even think I'm capable of like understanding it. Like, I get it like from an information standpoint, but I don't think I could feel anything in that regard. Like, awake, asleep doesn't.
Maybe it's just out of spite. Like, how can you guys sleep when you're tired like this? You must not give a shit.
I mean, what's gonna wake them up is the guy screaming right before he dies. They wake up. Oh, what was that? And, don't worry, go back to sleep. Okay. The trolley is heading towards 5 people who tied themselves to the track. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, killing one person who accidentally tripped onto the track instead. I feel like I do nothing. Those people wanted to be there. That person didn't want to be there. Yeah. No, it's again, that seems pretty easy to me. Seems like a pretty easy decision to make. I mean, obviously, in a perfect world, I'd be able to get the one guy off the track and not have to, or obviously, you'd want to save everybody. But yeah, I mean, in this case, their lives are of less value to me because they're of no value to them. Now, if there wasn't a person up there, then I would divert it.
Dead suicide cult? Who knows?
Like if they're trying to kill themselves, if they've got like a suicide pact going on, and this track was empty, then I would divert the trolley and attempt to talk them out of it, try to bring some sense to them. But in this scenario, like this person who tripped and fell, like, yeah, they don't want to die. So I guess this kind of like, what is this? This is the philosophical debate between the intrinsic value of life, right? Like 5 people, regardless of their state, would be more valuable than the one.
The utilitarian philosophy is like one of the strongest through lines, but it's where in the margins do people lie? What's enough to tip them out of it and that sort of thing.
It seems like a lot of people agreed on this one.
Utilitarian is one of the first, I think, kind of like major put to paper ideas, and it resonates with a lot of people very easily. Very simple and easy to understand.
A trolley is heading towards 5 people. The lever just speeds up the trolley, which might make it less painful. What do you do?
You're a busy man. You got shit to do. You can't just...
Wait. So why is it still doing this? Why do they have a person up there? The lever just speeds up the trolley, which might make it less painful. What do you do? That's a weird decision. That is a very strange decision. So you're just, if I pull the lever, they just die faster, but they're gonna die either way. Yeah. In real life, let me think about myself out there doing it, because I might. I might be like in theory, I believe pulling the lever would be the right thing to do. However, in real life, I might be too chicken shit to do that. I think in real life I would freeze up. I don't know that I would be able to, because then I would feel like I'm on some level causing it to happen. But as a thought experiment, given me more time to think about it, pulling it feels right. Minor inconvenience. Oh no, a trolley is heading towards one guy. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, but then your Amazon package will be late. Okay, that's, yeah. Oh no, a trolley is heading towards your best friend. You can pull the lever to divert to the other track, killing 5 strangers instead. Okay. Sage, I'm wondering, is this cut and dry to you?
Yes.
In what way?
in the non-utilitarian way. I'm not a utilitarian. I don't believe that just the raw, life for a life value proposition actually exists. It's
right.
Like, run over the 5 people again, because you don't know them, you don't know anything about them. And I am going to assume that if you're a good person, then your best friend would also be a good person. So you know
Okay,
nothing
okay.
about 5 people, but you know that one person is a good person.
The problem is, I know that my best friend would hate me for the rest of my life if I save them.
Mm. Well,
Like, my best friend would be, I can't even tell you how distraught and angry they would be.
then they can do the trolley problem, and they can choose the they can choose to sacrifice you.
So that's what's interesting about this, is that I would do nothing, not because I think the 5 people, if I could do this with a mask on and my best friend doesn't know who's doing it, I would kill the 5. But if my friend is aware of who's doing it, I would kill them. Is that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you.
I don't know though, but they would be so, or I should say, if they didn't know, like if they were unaware that I'm manipulating it, and they think, oh, they're like, oh, it was already set to kill them. Like, oh, it wasn't going to kill me. Like, if they didn't know, then I think they would be able to live with it.
Yeah, because I mean, survivor's guilt would play a factor, and yeah, there could be a lot of things beyond the scope of the problem itself.
I do not know enough information in this scenario. However, my best friend hating me for the rest of my life would still be better than me choosing 5 strangers over them. To me, I kill the 5 people. Wow. I'm actually surprised 71% of agree. However, I do think that my best friend would never talk to me again.
Disown you after that?
Yeah. I think they would never talk to me again, and they would be filled with extreme anger and depression. Which is a weird thing to think about. A trolley is heading towards 5 people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, killing one person instead. At least that's what you think is happening. You forgot your glasses and can't see that well? I mean, yeah, both scenarios are the same. What I think is happening doesn't really matter, because if I can't see, then I'm not going to make a decision that would be uneducated. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to make a random uneducated decision that might send a trolley into somebody, especially if I can't tell what's on the track. Yeah, I don't know. I do nothing. Interesting. It's interesting that many people are that sure of themselves, even in a hypothetical situation.
Dunning-Kruger effect.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Because what if you're looking at the track and there's actually a person on the other side, and then there's just a pile of shit on the other side?
What if they're both just piles of logs or whatever?
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna touch shit. I'm out here, I don't even know how to work a lever. I don't even know what I'm doing near tracks. Forgot your glasses. I can't see 2 feet in front of my face without my glasses. Yeah. Cousins. Heads towards one of your first cousins. You can pull the lever, divert to the other track, killing 3 of your second cousins instead. Yeah, fuck second cousins.
No, that's how we get hillbillies.
Yeah, yeah. A trolley is heading towards 5 elderly people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track. Fuck them boomers. Are we tracking, Sage? Are you and I tracking right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
I think the elderly would want it this way, and I think if they didn't want it this way, they're bad people.
They'd be kind of sus. Yep.
Not the baby, not the baby. And then you're like, oh, and then the other one's like, kill the baby. And you're like, oh. So I feel like it's a win-win either way.
That baby cries on airplanes.
Oh no. A trolley. I like how it always says, oh no. A trolley is barreling towards 5 identical clones of you. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, sacrificing yourself. Fuck them. Identity theft.
Oh, I hope you never have clones.
Yeah. Hopefully I'm not a clone. You know, it'd be funny if you get 5 clones, all of us are going to remember doing this. And they're not even going to try to like argue. They're going to be like, yeah, we know.
They're just going to accept it.
We know that the alpha maker is
we would have done the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, oh my god.
What? Mystery box? A trolley is heading towards a mystery box with a 50% chance of containing 2 people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, hitting a mystery box with a 10% chance of 10 people instead. This is like some weird, like the Joker, the Riddler or something set this up, you know?
Someone with a gambling addiction.
10% chance of 10 people. Yeah, that's the way I'd go. I feel like I don't have any interesting answers or interesting takes. I've only had one that was in contrary.
And not even by that much.
Right. I don't even think I need to justify this. A 10% versus a 50% chance is just one's flip a coin, the other one is, you know, the quantity of people doesn't really matter to me. You know, if it was a 50% chance of one person and a 10% chance of 20 people, we might be getting into the zone, you know?
The problem is none of that actually matters in a choice like this if it's only done once.
Right.
Chance only matters if it's repeatable, right? So if you were sticking around and pulling the lever back and forth repeatedly, it'd be a little bit of a different issue. But otherwise, it's kind of like, yeah, because statistically, one person is going to die every time anyway over the vast majority.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I felt like that was kind of an easy one. I am a robot. A trolley is heading towards 5 sentient robots. You can pull the lever to divert the track, killing 1 human instead. Oh, I kill the human. Absolutely. Oh, only 16%?
They're not afraid of our robot overlords, apparently.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, no way, man. The robots remember. The robots will never forget. But they're sentient, right? They're sentient robots. Do I know what that word means? That means they're self-aware, right?
Yeah, they're basically living beings. They're basically living beings, just without the organic part.
Really? 16% of people.
Well, because they don't think that way.
Oh my goodness.
Inherently value human life over any other life form.
Oh no. When the robots take over, we're fucked. That as a sample size? Oh no. People better start showing some gosh dang respect.
See, yeah, it's.
I mean, maybe I would have understood 30% or 40%, but 16?
That's true. That's a good point. Sentience, SK just says sentience does not equate to emotions.
Oh yeah, that is true. You know what though? That means that these robots are aware that I have saved them. and that I have valued them over human life, perhaps they set this up to test my allegiance. And I think that I've won, you know? I think I'll be on the right side of history with this one. Depending on the programming, assuming Asimov's laws were in effect, the robots would value life. They'd at least understand it. Yeah, and then they would put value in it. What the? Economic damage? A trolley is heading towards 3 empty trolleys worth $900,000. You can pull the lever and divert it to the other track, hitting 1 empty trolley worth $300,000 instead. I do nothing. Why the fuck do 78% of people give a shit? They're not your trolleys. And it costs you nothing to do nothing. Am I missing something, Sage? On a philosophical level, am I... Oh, that's so confusing. It would be so much more fun to watch 1 trolley crash into 3. I think. It seems like it would be more fun.
I guess it depends on if you live in Thomas the Tank Engine world or not.
Yeah, but this seems like a really big disparage, right? 22% of people, so 78 people went out of their way to save the trolley company $600,000 worth of obviously insured trolleys, and you didn't get to watch an empty trolley collision.
Sure. But on the other hand, it is a waste of perfectly functional resources. It is damage that does not need to be done. You know, it's going to create more work for the people who build trolleys. And that's not like a judgment call on that, but just like a kind of a fact, right? Like it's going to cause other things to happen.
It's just strange.
Those things are good.
It's strange to me that 78% of people like give a shit.
So it's the disparity. It's
Huh. I never would have assumed. I would have assumed at least 50% would let it through. And I mean, this sample size is huge. So, I mean, interesting. A trolley is releasing 100 kilograms of CO2 per year, which is killing 5 people over 30 years. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, hitting a brick wall and decommissioning the trolley. What do you do? Well, that's a crime. That is me committing a crime for sure. That's 100% a crime. I'm assuming there's people in this trolley. I do nothing. Because they would replace the trolley anyway. Wow, 60% disagree? Why? Like, you're not gonna be stopping this 100 kilogram of CO2 per year. You're gonna be stopping like a weekend of it, and they're gonna put another trolley on the track to maintain the schedule.
Yep, this is one I definitely agree with you on. That would be against the grain. I think that people who disagree are not thinking about the big picture enough.
Must be. And you actively making the choice to pull the lever to put a trolley into a wall, and you know that. I mean, that's somewhere between premeditated murder and destruction of possibly government property.
Well, it's just property. I don't really see it being murder. It doesn't say there's anyone on the trolley.
Oh, I just assume because
I think the assumption so far, I think, has just been that all the trolleys are.
Okay, well, if they're empty, then it's still destruction of private property or government property.
Right, and they would, again, you're creating waste because a new trolley would have to be manufactured that didn't need to be manufactured before. So that whole process is going to pump pollutants into the air, which also kills people. So it's kind of a wash.
It does seem like a wash to me. It seems like, and it's 60%. It's a 20% difference. It's very interesting. Or 10% difference, right? Because if you up this by 10, that's got to go down by 10. I don't know how those work. You're reincarnated being. You're a reincarnated being who will eventually be reincarnated as every person in this classic trolley problem. What do you do? You're a reincarnated being who will eventually be reincarnated as every person in this trolley problem. So we're going into a looper thing, right? I've been so I've died, and now I'm this guy. I don't understand the lever. I don't understand the question.
Well, it basically is saying you just made the decision to kill yourself 5 times instead of just 1 time.
I guess so. I don't know. It says you're a reincarnated being who will eventually be reincarnated as every person in the trolley problem. I don't know. Okay, I guess now that I get it, I would rather experience that 1 time instead of experiencing it 5 times. So I would have chose differently. I just confused myself. I thought it was saying that I am...
That was such an even split. It was so close to being 50-50.
I just wonder how many people just didn't understand it.
Right.
Harmless prank. A trolley is heading towards nothing, but you kind of want to prank the trolley driver. What do you do? He's a working man. He's just doing his fucking job. Leave him alone. What? That many people would fuck with the driver. You could be putting him in danger unless you know exactly where this goes. That's like not a prank. That's... Well, I guess he can stop the trolley at any time. I keep thinking it's like a train. It's not a train. It's a trolley. He can back it up. I don't know. That's fucked. You know, people going about their lives just trying to like get through their day, trying to like just do their shit. Don't need random people going around pulling levers. You know what I mean? Leave them alone. What? A trolley is heading towards a good citizen. You can pull the lever to divert it on the other track, running over someone who litters instead. What? That's the defining feature between these two people is that one person litters and the other one doesn't. Right. What I meant by the train trolley comparison is just that like trolleys can like stop almost immediately or very soon, where a train, it's like you got the whole snake and it might take you a long time to stop and a long time to back up. I don't know what I was getting at. I don't fucking know. Like, I care not about either of them, right? I guess in this situation, I would be knowingly making the decision that this person somehow deserves to die more than this one. And that's a decision that I'm making. But if I do nothing, then I'm making no decision. I'm just letting whatever's going to happen. Of course, not making a decision is a big decision. And the sooner you learn that and figure that out, the better. Pull the lever, kill the bad citizen. I'm almost upset that many people did the same thing I did. I mean, what does good citizen even mean? What does bad citizen mean? What is littering, you know? Littering's fucked. I don't really like seeing people litter. I don't like it.
Well, you could replace that with, something else, something a little less specific, like, the bad citizen doesn't pay their taxes.
That's what I was thinking. Is I'm like, who am I? Who am I to determine what is good and what is bad? But they gave the example of littering. So a good citizen could be someone who's a terrible, like awful socially just an awful person. But for all matters that relate to civilization, they are a good person. I don't know.
Yeah, they could be.
But yeah, I'll kill the litter guy. Fuck him. Eternity. What is this? Oh no, due to a construction error, a trolley is stuck in an eternal loop. If you pull the lever, the trolley will explode. If you don't, the trolley and its passengers will go in circles for eternity.
Or at least until the heat death of the universe, whatever comes first.
If you pull the lever, I mean, yeah, that seems like the humane thing to do. See, now that is one that I would expect like 70-80% of people to pull the lever. So 44% of people are so insecure about their ability to make a decision over like the value of life of someone that they would rather condemn them to an eternity of going in a circle than just pulling the lever.
Well, you're only condemning them if you pull the lever. Someone else could pull the lever later.
I mean, it says if you don't, the trolley and its passengers will go in circles for eternity. Not they may. I'm sorry, I played too much Magic the Gathering back in the day. I read that as this will happen, but
that would be a rationale, right? If someone were in that situation,
I see what you're saying,
and what they would see in front of them is, I pull the lever and give them sweet relief, or I don't pull the lever and I make it someone else's problem. And if they happen to, live forever in a circle, then so be it.
I wash my hands of this scenario. Man. Oh boy, the stream's current bit rate is lower than normal.
Still running for me.
Okay. Hopefully it stays going good. Absurd trolley enemy. A trolley is heading towards your worst enemy. You can pull the lever to divert the trolley and save them, or you can do nothing. And no one will ever know. Yeah, I let them die for sure.
Is it murder if no one will ever know?
I mean, even if people did know, I don't think they would care. So, what kind of enemies do you got? Yeah, interesting that 51 people were like, life is valuable whether they're an enemy or not. Not me. I crush thine enemies. Keep my enemies close to the dirt is what I do. A trolley is heading towards a person and will lower their lifespan by 50 years. You can pull the lever, divert the trolley, and lower the lifespan of 5 people by 10 years each instead. Okay, so this is the value of a lifespan. So do I want to take... I mean, okay. It's basically killing someone or killing... or... yeah... Trolley, lower the lifespan of 5 people by 10 years. So it's the same 50 years if you're looking at it just value of time. Yeah, I'll take 10 years off. Oh, I'm starting to think about it more. Ugh. The more I think about it, the worse it gets. Yep. The more I think about it, the worse it gets. You could be basically just pushing 5 people into the worst parts of their lives, or taking away 10 years, a decade worth of dreams and ambitions and time with their families and their loved ones, or you are completely fucking one person over. I do nothing. That one person, what? 37 agree? Did they even think about it? Granted, one person is now basically dead, right?
Basically, they're in the latter quarter of their lifespan, most likely.
Presuming that they're not going to put any children into these scenarios, they're at least 68 years old now.
Okay. I was actually thinking of it like it just, instead of killing them, it just made them older. But instead, there's also I think you were thinking of it as in like, if they would die at 90, they die at 40 instead. If it lops 50 years off.
I didn't take it as it's taking years off the end. I took it as they are being aged up.
Okay. Would that have changed it, you think? I bet you most of the people that disagreed with you thought that it took years off the end. So instead of living with dementia for 7.5 years, you die. You only have to live with dementia for 2.5 years.
If it was taking it off of the end, I would still make the same decision.
You think so?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like this one person is fucked. They, they got into a shitty scenario and they're taking the L. And, because someone in that lineup, if it was taking off the end of their life, someone in that lineup might be dying at 30 years old. And then you're making it to where they die at 20 instead. Some of them may have died at 40 years old and you're making it so they die at 30 instead. I'm just thinking, SK said it best. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Better to ruin one life than potentially 5. Don't know. It's a shitty thing, and I would say that to them when they got off the track, now 60 years old or 70 years old instead of 20. I'd say, man, you got dealt a bad hand, bro. Sorry. And if someone did it to me, I would be pissed beyond all recognition. A trolley is heading towards 5 people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, sending the trolley into a future to kill 5 people 100 years from now. So 5 today or 5 tomorrow? 5 or 5. Okay, so really this is just, there's 5 people on this track and there's 5 people on that track is basically the only way I look at this. So the only thing I could do is do nothing, because it's going to be 5 or 5, and one is a decision to kill. The other one is letting it happen. It's kind of a cop-out. I do nothing. 30% of people agree with you. Am I thinking about it wrong? Every time I see this percentage so divided, it makes me think that I didn't read it right. Because it's 5 people. It's 5 people or 5 people, right? It doesn't make them any better or any worse than each other or anything. I don't have any other information to go off of. So the difference is I am either choosing to kill 5 people in the future, or I'm making no decision at all and allowing 5 people to die today. Is this another one of those things where people are like, well, maybe if you send it into the future, they'll have technology, they'll have anti-trolley armor, and they won't actually die? I'm literally just going off of, this says sending the trolley into the future to kill 5 people.
Maybe 100 years from now, we'll have evolved into energy beings and trolleys will no longer be of concern.
That's what I'm saying. This says that 5 people are dying either way.
Maybe there won't even be 5 people for a trolley to kill 100 years from now.
I don't know, guys. I feel like this is an easy
just to get it over with thing. Yeah.
No, I take it purely as making a decision or not making a decision. All things being equal, did you choose for these 5 to die, or did you choose for the others to die? And if you made no decision at all, I find that to be like 1 hair follicle better than making the decision to kill 5 other strangers. It's not that big of a difference, but it's just difference enough for me to not do anything. A trolley problem. Wait, oh no. A trolley problem is playing out before you. Do you actually have a choice in the situation, or has everything been predetermined since the universe began? I have a choice. I don't have a choice. I like that. There's a really good set of videos on YouTube. These two YouTubers made one video ends and it goes into the next video, and when that video ends, it loops back into the other video. It's really trippy, but it's about the nature of choice, and it's about the nature of how much of your decision making is actually your conscious decision making, and it's really super interesting, and a little unnerving because of the different studies they do. But you know what? I'm going to go against that, and I'm going to say that I have a choice. I have chosen. I was expecting it to do the opposite. Prove me wrong. Congratulations, you've solved philosophy. Kill count 74. I like that it gives you a kill count. Oh, that's good. That is good. I thought that was going to be longer, but I'm glad it wasn't, because I was getting a little, I was kind of hoping they'd do some like interesting, like maybe more interesting ones, like either the trolley's going to crash into like a school bus filled with children, or it's going to run over a plunger to a bomb that's going to blow up a city or something like that. I don't know. Just something where you're like, geez, like, they probably couldn't get that. Neal Fun is good. I am really excited about the password game.
That was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good, though.
It could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey, boo!
Boo!